episode of Epicenter. And we feature business leaders and industry influencers who are shaping today's digital economy. It's time to get fractional.
Ooh, I love it.
That's right. So my guest today is Kun Som. Welcome. So your background, super impressive. I was scrolling through it on LinkedIn. I think you have something like 26 different job experiences.
I'm glad that you actually kept scrolling, right? Either I'm too old or, you just have to come and ask me, right? So half of those are fractional.
Half of those
really on point. Yeah.
All right, good. So we're going to talk about the right subject today. But strikingly, I think a lot of them are B2B tech, SaaS, media, really interesting. To be honest, it's actually a typical white male in tech profile. So, but here you are, a successful Asian female.
Thank you.
What's up?
My God.
Give us the backstory.
A lot is up.
Give us the backstory.
It's awesome and also amazing to be here with you, Ronen. I've been following you and also Apps Flyer from day one, and just seeing it out here blossoming is truly amazing. And I'm so excited, really, today to share my story and a few tips.
Well, give us the backstory. How did you get from wherever you are to here right now?
Yeah, going, back deep into my LinkedIn profile, my tech career started in the early 2000s. Actually, I kind of stumbled into tech. I was actually working out here in the PR agency world after I graduated college. And then I went into the music industry.
Music, nice.
Yeah, right before they invented this thing called the iPod. Remember those?
Oh, it was the iPods. Wow.
And then they got into streaming, and that was a time when I was like, I'm making a change. I'm going back to the States, and I picked San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And guess what? There's no entertainment jobs out there. They're like, you got to go down to LA for it. I'm like, oh, okay. But then I ran into a friend of a friend, and he was like, you look like you can sell anything. Come interview at my company. We at that time. This is way before the cloud. And basically, I got this job selling Sun Microsystems hardware, literally servers, giant servers. Back then, it was inside sales. So I started my tech career in sales, actually, for a few years, got into software sales. And then 2008 happened, the big crash. So I got to be in a marketing role. So I kind of pivoted because I actually graduated in advertising and business and marketing. So it's perfect. And that was it. The rest was history. So since then, I've been in the software space. And then probably the last 10 years, and when I moved to New York, then after a few startups, I went into the ad tech space. So the last 8 years of my corporate life has been in ad tech. And then the typical pandemic story, you come into the intersection of your life where you're also burnt out, and then your family also needs you back home. So I had to make a decision to quit my corporate job that I had. And then I took a sabbatical. Well, I was forced to, in a way, and I didn't know what to do with myself. And then a few friends in the network started calling me to hey, we need your help. We need fractional CMO. I'm like, and that term I used to laugh at, to be honest, when I was like, let's not say full-time, overtime marketing leader. And they're like, what's fractional? It's impossible to be fractional, But then I realized that, oh, okay, I'll take on some consulting gigs and start weaving into, these companies and startups and being their fractional CMO. And it took some time to really get there and to really understand how to be fractional. But yeah, that's how I'm here, and the birth of Nomadic Growth.
So Nomadic Growth is your company.
Yes.
And I guess that's the entity which you drive all your fractional work. So what the hell does it mean to be a fractional CMO, right? Or a CXO? I mean, how is it different from a traditional CMO?
So basically, a fractional CMO, or CXO rather, now there's fractional CTO, CFOs, is basically a part-time marketing leader. And when I say part-time, I'm not talking about, it's like instead of like 40 hours a week, it's 10 hours. It's really fractional in terms of giving advice, guidance to the leadership team for the company, or you're coming in to really fill in the gaps, or a replacement, or you're building. You're actually the first person in marketing. It really depends on the stage. So compared to a full-time, when you're there, you're under one business company goal, you're here just for this particular purpose. And it's always going to be an interim solution.
So it's like a project-based?
It can be project-based, it could be area-based or channel-based, or it literally can be the CEO's right hand. Or you can actually take the marketing function away from the CEO. And that's also what a fractional CMO does. But a lot of times you go in also fixing and revamping what is not working. Because to be honest, to hire a senior level leadership, and you know this, right? It's going to take 3 months, 6 months, and sometimes as long as a year. So to come in and really be fractional is to make sure that we're not rocking the boat, right? We're filling in gaps and then we're helping, but we can't help like a full-time, right? And I think that's where the main difference is.
So I guess like when you look at the scoping out projects as a fractional CMO or a fractional C-level or a fractional anything, you're coming in with a specific set of deliverables and KPIs, a specific timeline. What does a typical engagement look like? I mean, what is it that they're looking to achieve, and how do they say like, oh, this works, or oh, we just wasted a bunch of money on Kun Som and we're not going to get it back?
Well, guess what? I learned the hard way.
Okay.
Because moving from, like I said, overtime to part-time was a big challenge. I would say the first 12 to 18 months of, me starting to do this really is really about the mindset. Like when you go into a startup or you go into a company, you can't help it. You want to help them over there too and over here because you hear it. You're sitting in the leadership meeting. But now you go in and you really focus on what really needs to be done first. So number one is really mapping out what are the priorities? Where's the pain point here? Is it because you're missing a leader and you have a team of 5 or 8 or 20? And then you need someone senior enough who has that experience to come in and, like I said, not rock the boat. It's already, in a rocky place. Come in and be that friendly face and then alleviate, the situation. That's one scenario. But also setting the expectations of these deliverables too, of like, 90 days. I think revenue is going to pump up 10x because Som's here. Oh, that's not true. And I try, trust me, right? Not to say there's not enough time, but it's really around the first 4 to 6 weeks. Guess what you're doing? You're getting the lay of the land. Oh, I'm lucky enough if I'm going to an ad tech company because I've been in it for 8-10 years, right? So I can, go in, roll up my sleeves and hit the ground running, right? But if it's a different industry, I got fintech, I got insurtech, event tech, like it goes on, right? And it's like, I got to learn at a high level. I got to learn the key stakeholders. I got to build relationships with whoever's there that's been doing marketing, or I also have to hire, or I'm also bringing in my team as a fractional resource as well too. So it's really about adjusting to having a fractional CMO, fractional resource, because they're all used to someone who's been dedicated, right? And full time. And it's really setting up that expectation. So deliverables for me is within 90 days. Usually the sweet spot is like, okay, 4 weeks in, all right, we got a deep dive on what the company does, a product, what is we're selling, what's working, what's not. We're going to keep this alive. Great, let's keep this above water. And then we look at the foundation. When we look at the foundation, we're thinking about, you know what? You guys are using a lot of Excel spreadsheet here. This is manual. This is taking up too much time of the marketing manager. Let's bring in a CRM. Let's bring automation platforms. Let's look at your tech stack. And a lot of times I come in and I'm building that structure for them. And sometimes at the 90 days, we're lucky to get a structure that's working and a framework. And then now we can start driving revenue. Is it leads or is it helping sales team? What is it? Or is it increasing the share of voice in the market? Okay, so let's focus on PR and comms. When you have 17 years of experience, you come in and you're like a toolkit, right? So the deliverables need to be very clear in the first phase, and then we can really talk about strategy and getting the right resources, and then really elevating the team that you have as well too, if we're not building or fixing, right? So building that foundation, and then how does it get to success is when literally the C-suite feels, oh, we feel relieved that Som's around.
But they need to, I mean, a lot of times, you know, even with new hires and things like that, they come in with a 90-day plan, right?
Yeah.
And my advice is like, take your 90-day plan and throw it out the window because, you know, you got to focus on learning and not doing, right? But you also need to make sure that you have the right buy-in, right? You can come in with guns blazing, right? But if the management team or executive team there is not bought in or they have other priorities, right?
Exactly.
Or trust, right? It's probably the foundation of how you have to start it.
Exactly. And that's where the building relationships and fostering that is getting the alignment, right? And to be honest, in 90 days, I go for the small wins, right? And now my deliverables are much more clear, low-hanging fruit. Let's get to small wins. And then the next 90 days or next quarter is where we kind of elevate it a little bit more.
So do you have like, I mean, you've been doing this for a while. What does success look like? Is there an example? I mean, you don't need to name a company or anything, but like, just like you've come into an engagement, they've asked you to X, Y, or Z, right? And, you know, is there something that you can share on what you've done?
Yeah, I think majority of the companies, and I'm going to pick on HubSpot today.
Okay, let's pick on HubSpot.
Yeah, so basically, I've been using HubSpot for a long time. I've did a ton of implementations and customizations, and I'm also a certified partner as well too. And when I come in and I see that they need to graduate from what they're currently using, or not using anything at all. Yeah. So a lot of the success that I've seen is really taking the head off of rolling it out or migrating from another platform and seeing that dashboard of like, oh, finally, now I can see the sales pipeline. Oh, finally, I can see where all these leads are coming from the website and where they're going. Now we can see who's reading our content. Now we can see leads coming through the case study that we just posted. And it's really all about data and visibility that they never seen before because it's hard to really utilize one marketing manager or one resource to really implement it, optimize it, see that there's ROI from it. So a lot of times in my engagement coming in is really around, all right, where's marketing automation? Where's your CRM? How is sales and marketing aligned? Is it through this platform? So that is probably the number one. And a lot of my testimonials has been around building in these platforms, integrating within how they're doing things and start seeing the ROI from it. And when the salespeople are happy, they're happy.
Well, once they can visualize something, right?
Exactly.
And like, oh, we've been waiting for this like for the past 3 years, and here comes Som, and it's like, boom.
Yeah, and really, it's tangible. Right? Because it's data and they see that less time is consumed by everyone, right? And the setup part could be 4 weeks to 6 weeks, right? And they want to see something tangible too. Oh, great, Som's around, but okay, what is, okay, good. Like the culture, the marketing culture is good. Things are getting checked off in the project management tool. Great. That's a baseline where you want to get to. But the value is really how could we really elevate as a team? How can we drive leads? How can we get more alignment with sales? A lot of times I step into companies, it's a sales-led marketing team, which means they're just being reactive. Oh, sales needs it. We got to do this. But coming in is flipping that.
Yeah.
No, guys, we're gonna be a marketing team. They're gonna listen to us as well too, right? We're gonna be that happy married couple. It's a two-way street here, because a lot of times startups, they want customers. So
we all need customers,
right?
No?
But then there's also this whole other world of retaining your customers as well too, which they don't have resources to get to. That newsletter, keeping the customers happy, right? All right, Som, you come in and do these things that we don't have time to do. And I think that's one thing, taking things off their plate and visually, like you said, seeing data. And it doesn't have to be like, wow, like 10x everything, but visually seeing data and seeing that, this is life-changing. I now have, marketing automation tool. I don't have to use this dinky tool anymore, and Som has shown the way, and to be honest, I'm also that kind of fractional CMO or resource that comes in and shows them that it can be easy because it looks kind of like, intimidating, to come in, and it's a lot of money investing in tools, but coming in at ease and being, guys, it's okay. We're going to get this up and running. Your sales teams are going to be happy using your marketing team, right? And I think that's where it really makes a move in terms of success.
So you said something pretty, I thought it was interesting. Hey, where's Som, right? So I mean, assuming that fractional doesn't mean one, it's like, okay, there's a fifth of Som here.
Exactly.
Where's the other 4/5 of Som? And how do you distribute your time between the different engagements? And a lot of people can't switch gears like that. Right? It takes a special kind of mind to be able to say like, okay, today I'm dealing with the fintech, tomorrow I'm like an event, right?
Yeah.
How do you do this? Like, how do you switch gears? How do you manage these different engagements that you're doing all at the same time?
Yeah, and going back to expectations, right? And again, I also learned this the hard way because I was spreading myself way too thin in the first 12 months because I wanted to be the everything for everyone because that's how it was when I was full-time.
You were a yes person?
Yeah, I was a yes person. And then I learned through the years that I need to step back and it's okay. Some things can wait. Same thing. You don't need to respond to the Slack right away. But the main thing I do every Monday really is finding those priorities, right? And as long as I communicate and push back and have that confidence to be like, guys, it's going to have to move to next week because there's a wrench tossed in. There's always a wrench that's being tossed in every week, right? So prioritizing the clients. For example, this week I need to go to a conference, right? And they need me, then I'm able to push this out, or I work a little bit late. And let's not mention I'm on every time zone as well too. And trust me, I do get sleep. And my favorite line in these past 3 years is like, wait, Som, you have other clients? I didn't even notice. And it's so crazy because, well, you're answering the Slack at 6 p.m. and you're also answering at midnight, or some days are like that, but most days it's not like that. And there's this thing called scheduled Slack.
Yeah, okay.
that you kind of prep on your own time when you need updates, right? And I think what clients really want to see, or the CEO or the C-suite, is that she's around and she's providing updates and she's bringing up roadblocks. And this really comes with boundaries as well, too. There are certain things that clients need from me, but I realize that's not really a priority. I'll answer it later. Right? So it's setting those expectations.
You're helping them prioritize too, right?
Exactly. And realize like, that used to be a priority for you. Guess what? This is a priority. And we could push this out. And it's really about that because, at a C-suite level, everything's like a priority or things are getting stuck there. And for me, like letting them ease in and be like, don't stress about this. It's actually okay, is the main thing. And boundaries, balance, and to be honest, being physically fit as well too, and being able to juggle and like literally between these industries is very key. And for me, it's really the Mondays before I kick off the week.
So you said boundaries, balance. I want to add a third one into there, benefits, right?
Yes.
What are the benefits in being fractional, right? Like what is it that being fractional affords you, right? Not in terms of money, but just your time and your resource and how you prioritize your own life.
Yeah, like I said, I came back to take care of my family, especially my mom and aunt, and being able to front load the week with what I need to do, right? With these weekly statuses, updates, and make sure that everything's delegated. I also remember I have a fractional team, which also took like almost 2 years to get to a point where, yes, I have the right contractors. I have the fractional resources that I need. They know exactly what they need to do. I put them on this client account, right? So now I have help. At first, I was doing everything. And the reason why I did everything is to really understand what needs to be done. I can't go hire someone fractional unless I could do that specific task or that specific area myself, right? So now that I have help, helping my family and also being able to get a workout routine in, hanging with friends, also doing BD work, flying to another conference is really about balancing out your physical and your mental state, to be honest, every week. And that's why going back to the Monday planning. But what I need in my life now is the flexibility in the professional world and also in my personal life, which I can finally say this year has been really on point, because one thing that I learned is that what stage does a company need Som, right? Or a fractional CMO? If I realize in the 90 days that I think this is going to take more time. And this is very stressful. Like, for example, if we have the management team or leadership team that are not letting go of things, or the approval process is still long, you got to pick those battles, right? And for me, it's also around picking the right fit as well, too. And they may not know today, but in the future, they may. So that's where sometimes at 90 days, you realize it's not a good fit, or something else happens at the company stage. But I think I kind of know where the sweet spot is now and what stage I go into and how do I help. And again, going back to setting those expectations will cause me less stress as well.
Is that why working directly with the C-suite, so for example, like the CEO, like that seems like it's pretty critical to success because they can remove roadblocks, approve stuff. And, the small companies, less politics, big companies, more politics, huge
more
companies.
Flexibility, right?
Yeah, like nothing gets done, right?
Exactly. But I also worked at some big companies as well, too, as a fractional CMO and going in and managing like 20
Like how big
people.
of a company?
Very big.
Like
thousands.
Thousands?
Yeah, but this one area of marketing had like 20 marketers all over in like 3 different time zones, right? And it's going in and really helping them maintain.
Is that in the absence of a CMO?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And those replacements are really like, okay, we haven't.
So you're like a stopgap or a filler.
Exactly. And those, to be honest, is really keeping what is current working. And if we have time and resource for improvement, we'll go there as well too. But we just need to keep everybody while we don't have a full-time leader. And just going in and creating an environment where we're collaborating, helping with the culture within the marketing team, still having fun and doing things, and bringing the CEO sometimes for the meetings. Oh, he still cares. Great. I mean, that's an easy thing to do, but you got to think about all these things, right? And make sure that we're there for them. We have to agree. Being in a position where you're managing and having direct reports, half the time you're a therapist.
Yeah. People managers.
Yeah. And you're listening to their problems. Sometimes you just need someone to listen. And at the end of the week, I'm messaging the CEO or whoever hired me in, wrap-up report. Roadblocks here, blah, blah, blah. We need to make sure you give some attention to this or this person. That's what they need. Right. And I've done a few of those, but always very, very, very more very interim, like it's more short term. Usually it's like 3 months.
It's funny how in companies that when their own people are saying something, sometimes the voice gets drained out or blocked, like, okay, yeah, whatever. But then you bring in some outsider and they point out the exact same thing.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh my God, we have a problem here.
And it's validation. Yeah. And it's also a validation with a solution that I don't know if it's going to work. I've never worked your exact company, right? And then it's just really having a partner within that team to have a third party come in and like, okay, let's work on this together. And it's really driving something forward, right? And for me, I sometimes look at it like I'm a camouflage mode. I go in and I blend.
Fly on the wall.
Yeah, fly on the wall and kind of, again, I like to say friendly face. And the only reason why is because, not that I have PTSD, but every time there's a consultant that comes in, I get a little like edgy. I'm like, what is this person going to do? Is this person going to go and report like who's, not performing or like is a job on the line? And this is when I was younger, right? And consultants do have that reputation, right? Coming in and like showing that amazing deck, you guys got to do all of this. And they just kind of disappear. So when I started Nomadic Growth, I wanted to be the consultant or the, fractional resource that kind of immerses myself into their culture and company so they don't feel like I'm an outsider. So that's where the relationship really kind of builds out, right? It's like, oh, Som's around. She just attended a virtual happy hour. Great. It's just like fostering all that because you can get things done. And there's transparency as well too, right? In order for you to succeed is also making sure that you have these relationships and going back to the trust and credibility.
Right.
You come in, great, you have a great profile, you've done all of this, but guess what? Our industry is different. You can't really apply. Okay, so tell me what works. So I can go make that happen as well too. And a lot of times they have ideas, they don't have the resources to do so, but we'll try it. And most of the time, it's trial and error. Okay, good, we validated, this didn't work. Let's try this, right? Minimal budget resources, right? And I must say, a lot of times the end goal, the end of the engagement leads to, we're ready to hire a full-time ... What is it? At first, I may have, I think you guys probably need CMO. Actually, guys, keep the budget for next year. This year, I think we just need a senior marketing manager that could actually, run events and also help do PR and help build out the content engine and keep this going and coming in with some experience in marketing operations as well and kind of take what I built onwards. I'll help hire, I'll help train. If it needs a mentor, great. And that person may ramp up into being the leader one day and could be that, right? It's really about figuring it out and being there, like you said, like the third party voice.
I'm sure you've been asked, can we hire you full time?
Yes. And I always go back.
And how do you say no?
Oh, I have to admit, it is tempting, but I feel like I have so much stimulation and joy in working in different industries. And also learning about how companies grow and learning about all these different characters that I come across. And especially the younger CEOs, seeing them grow, it just really helps. Like, it really motivates me to do what I do. So to me, like, it's always like a hard and easy no. like I would love to be full-time at a lot of these companies, but at the end of the day, it comes back to what you asked, the flexibility.
Right.
I know what it's like to be full-time. Maybe I won't go back to being overtime, right? Like how you used to. But to me, like valuing my time, my flexibility for myself and having this balance is just the experience and the richness that I probably can't get from a company, right? And having my own company and being my own boss is also truly, something that really motivates me to continue to do it.
It's very inspiring. Maybe I'm going to shift gears.
Yeah.
Because, I think that, as I mentioned in the beginning, like your profile reads like a male tech, candidate, but here you are, like, a successful female executive, right? what do you tell other females who are basically, in their early parts of, or maybe later in their careers where, like you're quite an inspiration? Like, how do you survive in this male-dominated world?
Yeah, coming from the States where it's so obvious.
Oh my God.
It's everywhere. It's all over the media. It's all over your wall, at your office, right? It's in the town halls. You talk about it. I think it's the past 5 to 10 years. Let's just say 5. It's just been more obvious. For me, the challenges has never really been about being in the boys' club. I think it's more about the nuances in taking some of these things very personally. Oh, an idea got brought out into the meeting. Oh yeah, we were talking about it over beers yesterday. I'm like, they didn't invite me, and it just happened to be, right? Or they went to a ball game and the ideas happened there and I wasn't there. Or I wasn't invited to this meeting, or I get remarks that, okay, don't be too sensitive, or whatnot. And I'm just sometimes, and most of the time, the only female in the room and of color as well, too. But I think it's really about how we combat it, right? How we set the stage there. And I think women are getting a lot more confident, not just from all this content and for it being this checklist of every company, but making it a norm. Like, hey guys, I'd love to be in that meeting. I know it's not my area, but I think I could, give some perspective on it. Or I pull up a chair, right? If the opportunity is not there, make it a norm. I think it's really about shifting the boys' club's mentality. And it may not even be a mentality. It may just be like, it just happened to be. Because it's just a bunch of dudes sitting around, right? I know like in the engineering department, it was always a case of that HR head of people would come up, guys, we only have like 12% female engineers. Like we need to up it to 25%. And that's like her KPI, right? I'm like, okay, what do we do? And it's really about putting the education out there that you can do this job, right? Even if the requirements may not be a good fit, but apply anyway. Don't think that, it's probably a guy's job, and you don't have the confidence. And you're also scared that it's going to be a ton of male engineers and stuff. But it's also around creating that culture, right? And educating, everybody in the company. Like I built a lot of like women's groups and drove a lot of those communities. And it's really around getting it to be a norm. And coming out here on this side of the world, I didn't really run into this issue as much. And also, not just because I'm also Thai and I'm Asian, but also a lot of my clients, 95% are all male, like leadership team, right? Or on the board as well too. I feel that it's a lot more flexible, I would say, in just like, oh yeah, let's bring this person in, that person in. It's like they seem a lot more comfortable because no one is making it an issue, right? Because in the States, I felt like it was just it's nationwide. It's every industry, they're talking about it, right? And if we don't make an issue and we make it feel like it's just a norm to have it, then I think humans are very flexible in just adjusting to what it is. And also, I think being out here, I'm able to get more recognized. And the men are also more vocal and calling you out, giving you kudos on Slack and all of that. And I just feel that it's more obvious that it's a norm here. And I don't think it's too much of an issue, but to see it from both sides, I think at the end of the day, it's just really being comfortable and you sharing that voice and making the men comfortable around that too. So I think this issue is going to go away eventually, to be honest, because, it's getting more like ingrained into the company cultures and such.
So it sounds like being back in Asia, that expectation or that norm is just not there.
Yeah.
Like you had experienced in
the States,
the US.
absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
What do you tell a young, aspiring woman in tech? Like, what's your advice to them?
I think for me, having a long time career in tech, and it's been
on both sides of the pond, right?
Yeah, it's amazing path, because now with AI, now with where technology is going, you want to be a part of this. And I think a lot of times, a lot of marketers, I'll talk about marketers, especially B2B as well too, because I know the B2C is a lot more sexy and exciting and fun, and a lot of the younger generations want to go into it. But B2B marketing now is, especially on this side of the world, is pretty much a niche. I would say it won't take 5 years for you to get to the director level, VP level, right? It's really about you helping the company and the sales team break into their customer base, expanding into markets. And the tactics now and how AI has been helping on the content side, helping even on the design side, helping even with strategies as a baseline, or even making you work faster. It is accelerated by a ton. So one thing in being a marketer, in building your personal brand, which I really want to give tips on this, which is something that I work so hard for, and I had bosses that allowed me to go speak and go create these women's groups or women in tech groups or tech marketers group. I feel so blessed to be able to do a lot of that and really build my own personal brand, because when you're at a company, you may not be there forever. We don't even know if the CEO is going to be there forever. You always have to think long-term for yourself. How are you upskilling yourself, and how are you going on social and sharing an article, doing a POV constantly around marketing? Because right now, we're running into these issues that, everyone's post is mostly AI generated. It's not just polishing and making it, sound good anymore. It's like the whole thing is AI. And I know like LinkedIn is now detecting all of that, and even recruiters and all that. But at the end of the day, there is a career in tech for women. It's inspiring, it's rewarding. And that's one big part of my mission. And let's toss that into the flexibility bucket, which I do, is I go speak, I be mentors, I go on stage. I try to help the ecosystem out here, because I know there's less and less of B2B marketers. So I actually take a lot of time in grooming local marketers. And also when I hire, I also give them that path of like, there is a career, you can elevate here and there. You can work at a regional level, right? Because other regions are probably, have a lot more talent in B2B marketing. More or less in Thailand, I would say, especially internationally. So for me, for the Thai ecosystem, I just love putting myself out there, inspiring the young marketers, and especially in the B2B space. So, there's a lot of podcasts, there's a lot of content, and also a lot of tools that needs to be learned and to be better in it. But I think the mentorship that I provide here and there with a lot of marketers, especially at the client level, or my own fractional resources, has just been really great. And for me, I just want to keep sharing. So thank you so much for this platform to be able, I'm actually going to cut this bit as well too, and kind of send it off to.
Don't worry, we'll help you with that. We'll slice it and dice it and give you some shorts that you can send to people.
Awesome.
Yeah. This is really cool. And I think it's again, it continues to be very inspiring to hear what you're doing. Specifically, I think that a lot of people think about their own careers and their own progression and where they go. Yeah. A lot of times people don't, they just look for the next job. They never think of, my next job could be my own job, right? It could be, I could be a fractional CMO, or I could be a fractional customer success, or a fractional sales leader, or something like that. So I think it opens up another path. I don't even know how long fractional has been around for. I've only started hearing.
Yeah, more recently.
Yeah, more recently.
Right.
So I think it's definitely, it opens up another career path and how people can start thinking of their own progression, right?
Exactly. And not going back to the women's subject, but even, female executives that I don't know, came back from maternity leave and want to spend more time with their kids. Fractional is the way to go as well, too. Yeah. Lower those hours, still make an impact within those hours, right? And going back to make them feel like it's not part-time because we're making fractional success as well, too. And multiple fractionally
success full-time
will be full. Exactly. Right? And it's really about the small wins and making an impact. And I think those that hire fractional CMOs, that's what they want to see is, the tangible stuff. Great. The data shows it. Awesome. The team feeling good about it. And that's great. And I think as women, as they go through the different stages of their lives as well, too, like this is definitely a career. Yeah. And the flexibility is definitely there, but you have to make of it.
Yeah. A lot of times, like during our careers and we think about the legacy that we want to have, right? Have you thought about your own legacy and what it is that you want to leave behind?
Yeah. So, when I think about my legacy as a B2B marketer, I think building nomadic roles really painted that picture for me. And I think I could say that today, being able to help dozens of companies, across the globe and different time zones and being able to have a balanced life like now is a legacy I want to leave behind. And all the hard work, all the rejections, all the layoffs that I've been through, the ups and downs of the corporate world is all paying off because I can become a toolkit for these companies and really like, here, I got this, and I'm going to adjust to this. And also getting to learn new things from all these different companies, right? I want to leave off where being a marketing legend is really being a balanced one. I think that's the main thing because you're not only giving tips and guidance on the marketing side, but how you handle the stress, how you handle the schedules, how do you push back, how you create these boundaries, right? Where you take it up with the CEO, and how do you be confident to say something that I would say 10 years back, I wouldn't dare to say. And sometimes it's not about being direct or you're in your mind about you're not being nice, but it's just being transparent. And it's two different things. And I worked a lot with my executive coaches for years on this. And all of that has really contributed to me being a fractional CMO. And I'm very thankful for a lot of coaches that I've gone through in my career to be able to say like, yeah, I feel like a hybrid. I can be a hybrid marketer and I also can be a balanced marketer and on a fractional level.
One of I was recently asked, what are one of the common themes that I hear from people while doing this podcast? And I think one of the most interesting thing is that it is only when people are looking back and seeing points in their journey that they realize like how instrumental and how pivotal it has been in how it helped shape them who they are today.
Exactly. Like the boss that made me cry or the boss that didn't promote me or the hiring manager that didn't take me when I thought I was a good fit. It all happened for a reason. And this podcast alone is getting me to look back because I've just been going, Ronen, for 3 years. I've been building nomadic growth. I'm scaling companies, but I'm also scaling myself and my company, right? So for me, at the tail end of my career to look back, it's really a full circle moment and it keeps happening.
I wouldn't say this is the tail end. I think you're just getting started on doing something that you truly love, right? And that you believe in. And I think it's quite inspirational. And, part of the purpose of doing this specific podcast has been actually to surface what being fractional is, right?
Yeah. And it is possible. And it is a career. And it's just not a time off. I'm going to be fractional so I can go back to corporate. There's a way to go back to corporate as well. right? You can go back and be part-time. It doesn't say that to end all be all, right? It doesn't have to be one way or the other. You can go back now and propose your own offering of like, hey, I want to come back, but I think I want to be fractional.
I love it. It's very cool. I never end these things without doing a quick fire round, and sometimes our quick fire rounds are substantial too.
Okay, you want to retake that? I just drank water.
No, it's fine.
Good. Okay,
it's fine. We're hanging out. We're hanging out. Like no one knows what we have in our mugs, right?
Oh yeah!
Come on.
Cheers.
There
We're at the epicenter. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I just gave Som a tour of the gin bar.
Yeah, I love it.
She was like, "Oh, can we do an event here?" I was like, "Sure."
Really great space here. I love it.
Yeah. It's actually not, it's not too common to have this type of bustling tech company here in Bangkok, right? There's not many of us, so.
I miss the office life. I miss decorating my desk.
Oh, wait, hold on. Are you, are you insinuating that you could go full time? So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Are you down? Must read book.
Oh, wow. The Power of Now.
The Power of Now. Why?
You met me at a good time, Ronen.
What, for you to say yes to coming onto the podcast?
No. I used to be this person who was rushing through life, work, my career. The faster, the better, the busier, the better. I never even looked in the mirror.
Wow.
And that was a life. And it was a life on overdrive. And it was a life that I was just hurrying to create more goals for myself because I'm so good at completing tasks and forgetting about breathing and really enjoying the moment and really being present. This book is a little hard to read, but as I have grown and I keep going back and reading more chapters, I understand it a lot more in how I disconnect. Some thoughts can linger, some disappointment, rejection, or resentment, whatever, it can linger. But if you just quickly meditate, disconnect, you're able to just like live in the now and really, really focus. And then it resolves. And now you can move on. And enjoying and celebrating the wins. I never had time. I did. Okay, quickly, and then I'm moving on to the next thing. I was running 1,000 miles an hour. It was insane. But I was good at it, but I didn't realize there were other areas of my life that I really need to improve and take a step back. And I think that's where the sabbatical was just the beginning of it. And now that I can weave in my personal and professional life and actually have both in my hand and not sacrifice the personal life and what I wanted, it truly is mind-blowing what you can do when you just really can focus on the now. And that book really helps. Do I get to say another book?
You can say another book.
Atomic Habits is also James Clear.
Good.
So good. Like building routines. And it's not even building routines alone. It's building the mindset towards that routine.
Yes.
Why is it that you didn't want to do it? Why is it so hard to pick it up? Why is it so hard to do strength training 3 times a week? Oh, why? Why are you not reading that book or whatever it is, right? And there's so many good tips in there. And it's really because I would say I'm a pretty disciplined person when I have to be, and most of the time I am, and I'm very determined. But one tip that I really loved from the book was really about tacking a new routine onto an existing routine and prioritizing which routine will really make an impact. And I tried that for a few weeks, and I was like, this is so great. And that applies to everything. Like, even a routine is about not texting someone or someone that's just not contributing, for example. That's also building a routine because you text someone every day.
Yeah.
Right? And it's really about that as well, too. So I love it. Those 2 books is something I go back and read a lot of times.
That's a good book. I should reread it, too.
Yeah.
Meditate or work out?
Oh, work out.
Famous person that you haven't met, but you really want to meet.
Oh, this is a hard one. I'm going to say Elizabeth Gilbert.
Who's that? Did I just out myself?
Okay, Eat, Pray, Love.
Eat, Pray, Love. Oh.
Yeah, you know the movie. It's based on Elizabeth Gilbert. She was at her point in life where she took the plunge and she quit her job. And at that time when I watched the movie, I was like, wow, that seems so distant. There's no way I would do something like that. And she just took a leap of faith and she went. Like for me personally, like it sounds like I have the bravery and courage to do that all the time, but for certain things, like you can't. And with work, that was one thing I felt was really, really hard. Took me like 6 months to actually quit my job. And I think she was a real inspiration. And I would love to meet her in person to really talk about, the next phases of her life and where she's going as well too. And actually kind of go and rewatch the movie as well too and read the book.
Is there a brand that you would love to be the CMO of and why?
Ooh. Wow, this is also a hard one.
Well, we're not supposed to ask easy questions.
A brand. I'm going to pick a brand where I interviewed for, and I didn't make it. I didn't make the cut. This was years ago in New York, was ClassPass.
ClassPass.
Yeah. So it started out in New York, and I was probably one of the early birds, and it got me to go to classes and work out. And and you imagine, like living in New York, it's just really tough. Going through the 4 seasons, you rather go out drinking. Like health comes last.
Health comes last in New York.
And it does. It does. You got to survive first, right? And the reason why I really like ClassPass because I followed through how the brand evolved through the years, and the way it looks, the app, and there are players that come in, but never surpass ClassPass. And now to be using it in Thailand and in Asia is really cool because it got me to go back to taking classes and restarting my workout routine and all of that. If I have the chance to be the CMO again, I want to take this a lot further.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite quote?
Oh, favorite quote. I have so many. I have a quote that I used to have in my bathroom mirror, and it was there. And it was, even nature waits. It was along those lines. And I don't have it anymore because I'm so much more patient now. And when you think about that, nature is above us all.
Yeah.
And if nature can wait, why am I in a rush?
Wow.
And it was something I saw every time I brushed my teeth. And I was like, okay, today I'm going to take it easy. But it was very hard. It's like with anything, like meditation, like you can't apply it to your life. Yeah. Like it's so hard. And
you can't rush a meditation.
You can't rush a meditation. And that stuck with me forever. So every time I'm in a rush these days, I say to myself, wait, this can wait. Nature even waits. And it's going to be okay. It's good.
As you're sitting on the toilet. Som, this has really been amazing. By the way, how does someone contact you if they want to learn and be inspired by you?
Oh, wow. Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn, Som Puangladda Nomadic Growth, or you can just email me as well too, som@nomadicgrowth.co.
There it is. Som in the house.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing your fractional life with us.
Oh, thank you so
Epicenter.
much. Oh, so much. Thank you so much.
This has been beautiful. All right. See you all next time.